I did an interview once and they didn't record it, so I had to do the whole thing over.
Oh my goodness. All right, here we are at Origins. We're at the Rove booth at 861. We are currently talking to Motti Eisenbach, who's promoting his not only Crimson Scales, but his new project, Rove here. Before we get into that, just actually having your own booth here at Origins. How exciting is that?
Yeah, no, it's great. We're really pumped to showcase what we've been spending so many months working on. Finally get to make it public, the project. Yeah, so we're really excited.
Yeah, I would be too. I mean, I can only imagine it's just like a dream.
Right.
Just like finally being able to come out here and show off, like not just like a fan project like Crimson Scales, but something you've actually been working on that of your own design.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So, but before we talk about Rove, Crimson Scales, like what? How much was it? Like $350,000 or something like that people have spent on it.
Yeah. There's we did 2 printings. The second one is we're finalizing the pre-orders for it now. The first one is shipping extremely soon. It's really close.
Well, that's cool. And you've got, Trail of Ashes also shipping with it too?
Yeah, that's going with the second printing.
Yeah, which is pretty awesome. Like, just being able to add more stuff to an already pretty expansive boxes is.
Yeah, no, we're really excited. We have a lot of guest contributors in Trail of Ashes, which have been working for a long time on their classes, new scenarios, so yeah, it's great.
Yeah. So, Crimson Scales, developing it, did you imagine when you started? Because, I know you were, starting back in the day when I remember seeing, the scientist or the professor,
right,
the archbishop and weapon master, back the archaic versions of some of these, and now have they come to evolve? Did you have this, kind of scope in mind?
So, I didn't start off with that big of a scope. My original scope was 4 classes and a mini campaign with between 10 and 20 scenarios. Mm-hmm. Then as I developed and as I grew as a creator and I really enjoyed it, the scope just exploded. And it turned into, now we have 11 classes plus the add-on, and 66 scenarios plus the add-on in the base Crimson Scale. So it just, I created, I was happy with it, and I didn't want to stop.
Absolutely. Just it's I'll just do this and seeing how it turns into something else. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
I kind of figured it wasn't necessarily the plan to initially start like that. It just sounded like, because I know when I initially was following some of the stuff you were creating, it just sounded like there were a couple one-offs, and then later I saw that there's this much larger scope. So that's wonderful to see how it came to fruition like that.
Yeah.
And some of the guest designers have some cool stuff. Do you have any actually, out of the classes you haven't designed, do you have any cool highlights that you liked about some of the other things that the other people have contributed to your wonderful project?
Yeah, absolutely. When I made my classes, I tried to cover all the different play styles and different, the tank, the support. But the guest classes really shine in the fact that they each contribute something different and new to what the other classes don't.
Yeah.
And so they fill those gaps in the different roles that you can play as.
Which is wonderful, because it does feel like every class in it feels incredibly distinct, which is something I honestly think that a lot of designers strive to do, and it looked like it just kind of naturally happened, because some of these classes kind of already existed. I remember a few of them that were already part of the Creator Unity Guild, and seeing that some of those turn into this and realizing, well, these roles weren't even in there. So I didn't know if it was by design or just something that happened to be lucky.
Yeah, no, especially the add-on. Those were independently designed, and they just integrate pretty well because they have unique roles.
And they do. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
So Crimson Scales. Do we have any other updates on that? Anything new, or are we leaving it there and going to move on to Rove stuff? Because I know the Crimson Scale should be arriving to people the first wave relatively soon.
Right, yeah. It's in the U.S. port. The Europe shipment is still en route, but the U.S. port, it just cleared customs. So hopefully next week it'll get to the fulfillment centers and we'll get it shipped out. For the second one, because we got a lot more pre-orders and we made some adjustments, we're able to get some extras in there. So the Trail of Ashes is going to include an art book. New art by Alexander, all the different art, some metal token upgrades for Crimson Scales. So yeah, that's a great, nice addition that we've been working on recently.
That's wonderful. Alrighty, so Rove, the big thing. You got another dungeon crawler in the world of, what is this, Chorus? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Do you want to tell us about this wonderful new game? I'll let you talk about it.
Yeah, it's a magical world. It's pretty wild in terms of not being as civilized as some other worlds out there. You get this real feel of being in the wild, survival, these crazy huge monsters. We got this Huget, the puffer toad, that just spikes everywhere, and you just feel like you're immersed in it. There's tribes that colonize and form to help survive the wilderness. But we have all these cool new races that we're exploring. We have a ton of classes planned, and it's really going to be a unique adventure in that sense.
That's cool. Like a lot of it when I was like watching the game really stuck out. But you having designed it, I think can really tell people. So what like separates this from some of the other dungeon crawlers like Gloomhaven or Madara?
Right. So it's a little bit different. The playtime is aimed to be shorter. So the scenarios will be, instead of up to 3 hours, maybe 1.5 to 2 hours. The gameplay mechanics are different. So it feels different than playing Gloomhaven and Madara, even though they're both on a map. Mm-hmm. You're doing different things during your turn, encountering different enemy types. We've taken the experience of designing Crimson Scales and what we've learned is fun and what isn't, and we're applying that to Rove. So we feel as like it's a more refined version of our experience of designing that we have ultimate creative control over as we put it in the game.
Gotcha. So also what I love is the art style. I mean, I'm so used to jumping into like Skyrim and like having all these dark dungeons and there's these skeletons, and you look at Rove and you've got this bright world, and you've got my favorite, the star. I don't know if any of these stick out to you more, but I love the Starling.
Yeah.
But it's just the whole design just feels like it looks visibly different. Was that like deliberate? Did you want to take a step away, or is that could just be an observation of mine from some of the artwork that's not even on display here that I've seen as part of the rest of the game that just looks so much more stunning and bright compared to other games.
Yeah, a lot of games in this genre are all dark, dungeon, cave, gloomy kind of gloomy atmosphere, right?
Yeah.
But we wanted a bright adventure. Rove means to wander aimlessly. Like you're going out, you're journeying out as a rover. Rover is someone who leaves their tribe and goes out to adventure. And we wanted to really instill this sense of adventure and wild in the art.
So more of the game involves like adventuring out in the world instead of like delving into some of these like unknown locations.
So yeah, as you go out through the world, you explore new locations, you interact with different tribes as you go out on your way. But yeah, that's correct.
Cool. So out of the starting classes, like give us like a quick rundown of a couple of them that we can play as.
Sure, absolutely. So we have the Tiefer, who's he can shapeshift into an animal. So the class we have here is a feline, and they also have really long arms, so they're great archers. They have a third eye as well in the middle of their forehead. We have the Starling, your favorite. It's pure elemental energy that it absorbs the magic of where its location is. We have the Cabraxa, which is actually two different races that are symbiotic to each other. We have the Keb and the Roxa. They form a partnership, and we have the tanky and the more six-limbed aggressive Roxa over there. Then we have the Sophist, who is great at illusions. It's pretty small, but it's a very wise kind of creature.
Very cute, though.
Yeah, exactly.
I love that critter too much. Yeah,
who are more versatile as well.
Yeah, so that's just wonderful. So when it comes to like designing it, what did you really want to like make an impact on the game so people can say this is what like Rove is?
So we wanted to get the sense of adventure, wild, unique.
Gotcha.
Things you don't necessarily have seen before, but they just pop out as, whoa, this is Rove.
Yes.
To get that feeling of it's not just another cave bear in a cave.
Not just another cave bear in a cave. Yeah, just not another undead in a tomb. Not another something new, something fresh. Got it.
Exactly.
All right, that's cool. So coming out so we've got Rove here. We can play test it and we can show off this is nice. What are the future plans? Is there going to be a Kickstarter?
Yeah, so we're going to Kickstarter in just a few months to get everything prepped. If you want to be notified, you can sign up on our website, the email list. We'll let everyone know once it's going live.
I'll put a link in the description.
Great, yeah, thanks. And so once we go to Kickstarter, we have the foundation set. We're actually running some games over here, so people can come sign up and actually play one of the demo scenarios of Rove right here. So we got that all printed out, and we're geared up, we're excited, we're ready to develop. We have everything laid out. It's just a matter of having it developed.
All right, that sounds fun. Yeah, I'd love to actually. I know for the most part I've just been watching, but I'd love to get my hands on it. I'll try to weigh in on some of my own opinions later, which I'm super excited because this is. I've watched a few sessions with like Josh and some of the others playing, and I actually think it just sounds super fun from observing. I can't wait to get my hands on it as well. So
thank you.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Any other things, like anything else involved with Project Rove? Things that we should know about? Something you really want to share?
Yeah, we're working with Foreteller to get that app up and running so we can have that really narrative experience there. I did want to give a plug into my team over here. We got Charles, Ty, we have Tim, we have a whole great group. It's not just me, we have a whole development team, and we're all working really hard to make this happen.
Yeah. Charles has been sharing some of the lore bits that I personally have found particularly enthralling, so I'm really excited to hear more about it. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
Alrighty. So, here's Motti. We are at Origins, and I hope all of you have a wonderful time. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.